how smart companies are transforming the way of work to get it done,
How they enhance their performance for the success of the company's goals.
How do leaders inspire employees to innovate?
How will they able to communicate the goals in vivid language?
Since we all know that there's no such thing as perfection, there are risks and challenges that are inevitable and should be faced by the company whether they like it or not.
by that, we inspire.
We communicate.
We imagine the future.
Recreate the same stories.
And that's the start of our conversation.
Hi everybody, how are you? It has been 4 months since the pandemic affected a lot of people globally. A lot of people died, and yes, it is very alarming, but we need to face another day since this is new normal. We need to accept the changes and set our mind that this is our new way to survive. Hoping you're safe, and speaking of changes, the ability to adapt to the complexity and to the continuous unpredictable change is more important than careful prepared plans. Let me tell you a story. Towards the end of 2002, a well-trained, well-equipped U.S. Army task force in Iraq that couldn't defeat a poorly armed extremist. The task force functioned as trained, while its foes united as a flexible network. In such volatile situation, a military machine couldn't match an insurgent network. So what's the problem here? Like the armed forces business have now come to see that flexibility is your best hope for the survival in a certain world. Rapid change inflames the situation even further and proves the ineffectiveness of traditional management. Thus, we should adapt the pace of changes. The other side's common mistakes leaders make when planning to implement and derive the benefits of Agile. These include introducing Agile as just another business process with top management hedging their bets on its success by a less than fulsome commitment. Then there is the mistake of rigidly applying methodology conceived somewhere else for some other business and attempting to micromanage the change. And there is the common mistakes too, of skipping and training and coaching so that people only understands the idea but don't embrace its mindset as their very own. When done right, Agile continuously deliver more value to the customer from less work, which results in terrific returns to the organization.
My name is Agile. So, there are 3 things that you should know about me. 1. I love traveling. 2. I was born in 1996. And 3. I am a bad boss. I am a bad boss because I was a bad employee before. There was one thing before that I was always get scolded by my senior because I am always late when it was Monday. Monday is not my day. The same with the students. They hate Monday. I am too. I don't know why I hate that specific day, but one thing for sure is it snapped me out to reality. Well, how did I change? I don't know, but I did to come up this best version of me as of this moment. Change has fascinated me, and my whole career has been built around in helping others deal with change. Those changes made me better. As I can see myself not improving, and every day gets worse, while I can see my colleagues being at the top of their career, then boom, it hit me. That's the realization that made me change. Reading The Age of Agile, how smart companies are transforming the way work gets done, helps me a lot. Not about Agile frameworks, but what it really means to reach more agility. The book is divided into 2 parts. The first part focuses on Agile management, laws, a case study to implement Agile at scale or Microsoft, and moving towards strategic agility and changing the organizational culture. The second part puts several management tropes in the spotlight. Example, shareholder value, share buybacks, cost-oriented economics, and backward-looking strategy.
For the last years, your work has revolved in the business industry, and you yourself already lead everyone to what they want. But Your colleagues has been talking about how will you all improve your market position by becoming a customer-centric organization. Yes, leadership. Leadership has something to do with mapping out where you need to go to win as a team or an organization. And it is dynamic, exciting, and inspiring. However, what can make you a better leader? And talking about changes, how will you adapt for it? Thus, adapting to changes can make you a better or perhaps a great leader? Well, have you already heard about Agile management? The Age of Agile was a book of Mr. Stephen Denny, that is a former World Bank employee, and had held several respectable management rules. Mr. Stephen understands the company performance well and devises a plan to help you utilize your resources and in a much more cost-effective manner. It is a perfect match for managers and leaders in the making, and those who want to learn a thing or two about Agile management, which grew out of the software development industry, offers solutions. The book itself is a ready reckoner for anyone to go beyond the surface level thinking on what Agile means for an organization. It leaves you with so much more than what you started with, and that's always a good feeling. The author himself pins the cause of poor economic performance and associated adverse social outcomes such as disengaged workforce, huge income disparity, loss of national competence to the obsession with shareholder value rather than customer centricity. It is a must-read for all leaders, both young and mature. The book gives you a different perspective by connecting the dots differently. You will come away with some valuable leadership lessons.
Agile businesses adopt small dependent teams, reduce team size, and narrow the scope projects. They focus primarily on the customer. They stress the need for full-scale reforms on a managerial level by creating a superior product or service that improves their market position by becoming a customer-centric organization. Agile teams pursue precise projects they can complete in a limited amount of time. Conventional managers may initially find it difficult to implement Agile management. We'd be delighted to hear about the initiatives that you have underway. One of the key issues that is highlighted in the book is the gap between Agile teams and the way senior managers operate. Is this an issue at your organization? Businesses suffer when good management practices stop working due to rapid change. Complex initiatives often fail because companies cannot change their plans fast enough. We already focus on helping teams to find success. We also believe that organizations can create a network effect by having many teams using coach pool. Cross-functional teams can develop mission-driven approaches together, and adding the voice of the customer into the team agenda is an interesting prospect. It's a little like the challenge of aligning team goals and organization goals. A light nudge is required to develop alignment to organization and customer. Denny does a good job of breaking down the Agile method into hard facts. Filled with examples from every sector, The Age of Agile helps the readers master the 3 laws of Agile management, embrace the new mindset, overcome constraints, employ meaningful metrics, make the entire organization agile, and more. Companies don't need to be born agile. With the groundbreaking formulas laid out in his book, even global giants can learn to act entrepreneurially. Your company's future may depend on it.
The Agile principles is fully embraced forces the entire organization to be customer-centric and way of everyday work life. Powerful examples both from the new age companies such as Spotify, Google, and old age firms such as Barclays Banks, Ericsson's are given to reinforce the arguments. It is quite energizing to read this powerful call for change in management practices of thinking, structure, approach, and value delivery a must-read for those who want to make a shift to business agility. Adopting Agile principles offers a way out but needs fundamental transformation. It is like the Copernican shift from shareholder value at the center to placing the customer at the center of the enterprise universe. The well-established policies and processes of backward and top-down strategy, cost-driven economics, short-term profitability, and obsession with stock price need to be discarded. Moreover, it makes it clear that we live in a time where all industries are transforming in this current time period, which for us might just as well be a once-in-a-lifetime event. As Denning succeeds in making the urgency clear, he also offers numerous ways to embrace the new agile world of management. The concepts, stories, and methodologies discussed can be applied to any team at any part of the organization. I would strongly recommend this book to anyone looking to start change on their team. With rapidly evolving consumer needs and technology that is being updated quicker than ever before, businesses are recognizing how vitally essential it is to adapt and adapt quickly. The Agile movement enables a team, unit, or enterprise to nimbly acclimate and upgrade products and services to meet these constantly changing needs.
There were 3 laws that are established in Agile management.
The law of the small team.
The law of the customer.
The law of the network.
The law of small teams takes consideration to important keys: advocate for flexibility, use smaller teams, set deadlines, lay emphasis on getting things done, work full steam ahead, and campaign for transparency.
The law of customer acknowledged the absolute necessity of Agile management as a tool for finishing off with flying colors that includes ideal buying persona, conduct thorough investigation about their needs, outsource your work, pay attention, use your imagination, you can please everyone, and customization as a tool.
The law of the network. Once you get all bases covered, it's time to create a decentralized network of small teams which will enforce your strategies. Smaller groups equal greater efficiency. Centralized chains of command implemented in conventional management systems are not applicable in the modern age.
And that will typically be the stories. Stories that inspire people to imagine different future and a different way of acting in the world. Great case studies to understand why we need the 3 laws of the customer, the small team, and the network.
Thus, leaders inspire employees to do anything really by their own conduct, and by leadership, storytelling, that they need to live the values, they need to live the goals, and they need to be able to communicate the goals in a vivid language.
We inspire.
We communicate.
We imagine the future.